Undisputed.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning.
Good morning, Jenny. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Somebody's just coming over to the right side day after day after day.
What right side?
The right side.
Yeah.
The side of the table. No tie.
No, well, you know, I had got batter on it.
Yeah.
All that cooking I did the other day. Yeah, me and Goat. Jenny missed a good old goat.
I am just
You did get
so
it.
bummed to
Is
miss
that how
it.
you... We shouldn't be doing this, right?
Oh, I know. We can't do that
Actually,
anymore.
that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do knuckles and not shake hands.
Not shake hands?
Yes.
Or like maybe we go
Yeah,
this
elbow,
way.
yeah.
I don't know.
Or
You
kick.
guys not going to do it?
Okay, we
I don't know if
kick.
I can go on like this.
We're trying to set the right example for those watching that you're supposed to do air fist bumps,
Okay.
right?
Okay. All right. We're going to leave it at that. The show could get weird. We've got a lot to get to today. Can LeBron sustain his MVP pace? Shannon, I see you shaking your head. And will Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving get the coach that they want? But we got to start with America's team. It has been 4 months since Jerry Jones told reporters, quote, "I don't get hand cramps when writing checks." And with the deadline to use the franchise tag quickly approaching, the Cowboys reportedly sent a new proposal to Dak Prescott's agent. Reports say the Cowboys have already offered Dak a deal worth $33 million annually with $105 million guaranteed, but that was not enough to get Dak to sign. So Shannon, in your opinion, how will this play out?
I believe we're headed towards the franchise tag. Now, it was just reported, Skip, the NFLPA and NFL Management Council agreed to extend the franchise tag designation until Monday midnight. So they got an extra, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Because this CBA vote won't come down until
Until
12:01 Saturday night.
Correct.
Makes
So they're going to
sense.
give teams a couple of days under whatever happens.
Right.
Because this is, to me, bad news for the Cowboys
Right.
because
Yeah, you're
it
right.
sounds like it's just going to go back because I believe the deal will get ratified, the CBA,
Right.
and it will eliminate one of the tags, right?
Right.
Good point.
So therefore,
so-
at least you could franchise Dak, transition Amari. Now you're going to be stuck and you're going to be at the mercy, hoping Amari is true to his word, says, I want to be a Cowboy for life. Because somebody's going to throw a boatload of money at Amari Cooper. We know that, Skip Bayless.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Okay, my button fell off. But anyway, with that being said, Skip, from me, the Cowboys sowed these seeds a lot last year at the Combine, Skip, when they said we're looking to get a long-term deal done. But what did they say with a caveat, Jenny? They said, hopefully Dak works with us. So before we even start contract negotiations, you're already trying to say, paint him in a light, well, if Dak doesn't agree to this or Dak doesn't give us a relief or a hometown discount, he doesn't care about winning. Money is more important. How about let's start the negotiations? And behind closed doors, Dak, we really like for you to work with us. Now, if I'm Dak, I'll Heisman pose you. Ain't happening, considering I was a fourth-round draft pick, and I didn't get that big money up front. So I believe we're headed towards a franchise tag, Skip. And the thing is that they keep talking about these proposals. See, Skip, the thing is about fans, when they look at it, all they see is $100 million, $115 million, $120 million. That's not basketball money. You see a $150 million contract or a $200 million contract, said player will get every single dime. Baseball, we just saw Christian Yelich, 9 years, $215. He's going to get every dime. NFL, that contract ain't worth the papers written on. Because you and I both know, Skip, there's a reason why. Because, see, Skip won't, prime example, Skip want the 49ers to go after Tom Brady. Why can't they do that? Now, they just gave Jimmy Garoppolo $135 million because they can get out from under the contract with very little financial penalty. But see, if you had financial penalty, then you couldn't do if that money was guaranteed, Tom Brady wouldn't even be a thought. But because it's not guaranteed, you have these teams playing, well, I'll do this, I'll do that. I don't like it. I don't know why they extended it another day, because all this does is help the teams. No, I want to hold your feet to the fire. Either you believe me or you don't. And Skip, this tells me...
Unless you're Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, first cousin.
Okay.
First cousin.
Unless.
First cousin say, hey, I got all my money from Minnesota.
Yep. Every last penny is guaranteed.
I got all my... And guess what, Skip? He up after this year.
Yep.
Kurt about to hit the market again.
Couldn't believe that.
And get more money. More money. So, Skip, Dak, if I'm Dak, I'm going to be steadfast. This is what I want. And if you can't give it to me, do what you must, and I'll see you come training camp.
So, This is as bizarre a negotiation as I have ever encountered in all my years doing this.
Really?
Because it is so mysterious what is going on both sides. What has Jerry always said? When have you not known me to get one of these done? Meaning
Right.
I get every one of them done. But we're hearing less and less from Jerry and less from his son, Steven. And we have heard zero from Dak Prescott and Todd France and CAA and his side of the story. We have heard zero. And I am astounded we have gotten this deep. I thought it was going to be this Thursday was going to be the deadline, but now we got to go till Monday. We've still gotten this deep in an impasse, in a stalemate, with little to no reporting about what's actually going on between the two sides.
From Dak's asking price, what you mean, right?
Or either side now,
okay.
because now, reportedly, we do have a second offer.
Right.
We had one just before the season started.
Correct.
And we think it was in the range of $33 million a year.
Correct.
And there's a lot of disagreement about how much the grand total was. It's somewhere just over 100, around 100.
Right.
But we still don't know how much of that would be guaranteed at signing.
Correct.
Which is crucial.
Correct.
Kirk Cousins was guaranteed at signing.
Yeah.
$84 million.
Yeah, so
the whole thing was just guaranteed.
Yeah, you good.
Okay?
Yes.
So we need to know that X factor figure. And as yet, we've heard nothing from the other side. So all we know is there was reportedly a second offer, and it was made sometime in the last week or so. There was even discrepancy over which day it was offered, but we think there was a second offer. How much was it? I don't know. Nobody reported.
Was it less than the first offer?
It could be. Knowing Jerry, if he gets offended, if he gets his pride up, as he says, then who knows? He could backtrack on that first offer.
Right.
Okay, so now we're stuck with two sides who are mysteriously incognito. And usually at this point, the mud starts getting slung, and we start hearing figures from both sides disputed by the other side.
Right.
Here's what I think is happening. For once, Jerry and Steven are protecting their opponent in this negotiation because their opponent is their number one business partner. Their opponent is Dak Prescott, face of franchise. They don't want to start slinging any mud, throwing out any numbers because they don't want to damage the image and reputation of their business partner. So they're paying him the utmost respect whereas even with Zeke, it got a little ugly at the end, and Jerry was saying, Zeke who? And it got it got a little contentious, right? I can't remember if any real figures got slung around. I don't recall any, but right now, you and I, the three of us, we are shooting in the dark because we don't know anything for sure that is coming from the other side. So when I get back to the classic Jerry side, when have you known me not to get one of these done?
Right.
Well, maybe now.
That one.
Yeah, maybe
this is the first time for everything.
Maybe this is the first one because I don't know. I keep throwing out this number. What if Dak's side is saying, we got to get $40 million a year? And you say, come on, $40 million? But what if they say Mahomes is going to get 40?
Yeah.
We got to get 40 because we don't want this deal rendered obsolete in 2 years.
Correct.
Where we look back and say, what were we thinking? We look like fools now. What if they're just dug in? They're entrenched, like trench warfare. We are at 40. Don't come talk to us until you want to start talking $40 million a year. And what if Jerry is saying, I got a responsibility to Cowboy Nation. I got a responsibility to my family. This is a family-run business, and at some point, I just have to be the guy to say no, because that's too much for that guy.
Yeah, Skip, you know, Jerry had his famous quote where he says, I've never gotten a cramp writing a check. You've never gotten a hand cramp writing a check in things you believe in. Now, when you begrudgingly wrote that check for the Dallas Cowboys, you believed that they were going to be more profitable even than what they were. So you cut that check. Skip, I don't care what Jerry Jones, I don't care what Steven says. If they believed 100% that Dak Prescott was the guy, there's no haggling. You think there's, let me ask you a question, Skip. How much haggling is going to go on with Patrick Mahomes? How much haggling is going to go on with Deshaun Watson? Because those organizations believe 100% that's their guy.
I would agree.
Dak Prescott is also...
more so Kansas City than Houston, probably, but whatever.
But Skip, because Dak is looking at it like this. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, you take a quarterback in the 5th or the 6th round this year, and I get hurt. That's how he got the job. Now, if I got a contract that makes it very cap-friendly for you guys to move on, why would you pay me $30 million when you can get this guy at $800,000? That's what they did with Tony Romo. Why pay Tony Romo, Skip, $15 million when we got Dak at $500,000?
Okay, I got it. So now, this is how I think Jerry is thinking right here, right now. I think that it's still sticking in his craw what he gave Zeke, because I thought he overpaid for Zeke's value, and especially the bang for the buck that Zeke gave him back this past football season. It wasn't quite enough. He had a good year. He did not have a great year. So I look at, he finally gave Zeke 6 years, $90 million, but 50 was guaranteed, and it averaged 15 a year.
Right.
Okay? And that's beyond the 45 guaranteed that went to Todd Gurley at 14.4 a year. So he went a little more and a little more guaranteed, a little more average annual.
Right.
And now we look back at the Todd Gurley deal, and I think Ram fans would tell you right now, that's a bust. Like that was way, way too much, yet that was the bar that got set for Zeke.
Right.
And you kept saying, well, you got to pay him more than Todd Gurley, and he did.
Because here's the thing, Skip. If you sign after a guy and you get less than that guy, what happens to the market? It comes back the other way. And so the thing is, Skip, I also believe Zeke's numbers was hurt because the Cowboys playing from behind so much. Skip, you get down 28 points. You get down 21 points. It's hard for you to run your way back into the ball game. You got to throw. So teams like, if we can get ahead, we can neutralize Zeke Elliott. It's like when they had the games close and you can use Zeke to your advantage is where Zeke is most beneficial. You fall behind like you did to the Packers or like you did to the Bears. You're not winning those games, Skip, because they neutralize Zeke and the advantage that you have in the running game.
Okay, I got it. But I kept telling you all year, the Zeke that I used to know I couldn't see, I don't know if he never quite got into shape, into sync, into